Boy oh boy. Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I am Protomario. Today we are reviewing Super Mario 64 for the DS. This is a title that changed things up. Currently, you're probably curious as to why Yoshi is the character that we're playing with. Hey, this isn't Yoshi's Island, so why is Yoshi on the screen? Well, let me explain to you. While Super Mario 64 changed the world of gaming, the face of gaming, putting Mario into 64 bits rather than those measly 16, this one is a portable version of the game, and while it is not a full remake or rendition, it may have arguably better graphics and different additions such as several new playable characters, minigames, and a few levels. More or less, this is the same exact game. Yes, guys, it is Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo DS. This game was one of the highly anticipated games that was available for the DS when the DS first came out. Arguably one of the best games and possibly the best Mario game, Super Mario 64 changed the face of gaming, as I've already stated. Within the confines of this small DS card, it lives up to everything that Super Mario 64 did on the N64, or Nintendo 64. You know, when you try and say Nintendo and N64, it doesn't really work out. Moving right along, Yoshi here is your primary character that you're going to be starting with, and you won't be permitted to play with Mario. No, no, no. The Italian plumber that you so wholeheartedly seek to play with has been locked away in a door with a special key. How do you get him out, you say? Well, it's quite simple, really. There are these special levels with these bosses. A Goomba happens to be guarding Mario, and you'll be able to play with two other characters, his wacky brother Luigi and his crazy counterpart, Mr. Wario. With the ensemble of characters available, they have changed around Mario 64 for the better in every way, shape, and form. There's very little bad things I can say about this game, except for the fact that when it was originally made, and what the engine that it runs off of, the camera angle is a bit crazy at times. But hey, what are you gonna do? It's Mario 64, right? So, this is a fun game, and where you pretty much do exactly what you did in the original N64 version. And if you've never actually had a chance to play the N64 version of Mario, and maybe you grew up on the PlayStation, or perhaps you just really didn't like Mario games for whatever reason back in the day, or maybe you just had the lack of being alive at the time, this game will permit you that option without having to go out and buying a Nintendo 64. Since the DS is a bit more of a recent console than the N64 is, this is a more prevalent copy. Unfortunately, I'm not going to try and sit here and say that the N64 copies are at all rare, because they're not. The N64 pretty much launched with Super Mario 64, and so did the DS. It pretty much launched with this. Nintendo published this game, and it is one of the best-selling games available for the DS. When you think of Mario 64, you can't help but be taken back to the days when you used to play the 64 with all your friends. The 64's version of Mario is arguably one of the best versions of Super Mario that are available. Between the original Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, and Mario 64, many people contest between Super Mario Brothers 3 and Mario 64. As far as I'm concerned, I would definitely have to go with Super Mario Brothers 3, but this definitely is up there as a close second for me. The integration of the new characters gives a unique perspective on the once dull and one-sided game that was changing the face of gaming. As it stands, I'm not going to try and say that it wasn't one of the best games available at the time, but what I definitely am going to say is that the addition of Yoshi, Luigi, and Wario gives a new added perspective to the game. Each character possessing his own unique abilities, Yoshi being able to eat things and do the flutter kick, Luigi having a better ability to jump, and of course, Wario, well, he's just a fat and stocky version of Mario, with a bit more power. Once more, you can also find Mario's hat within the level to perform tasks that only Mario can do. And unless you have Mario, you won't be able to do these tasks until you get that special hat. That's not a problem at all, because Thwomp here is going to meet his end at the hands of the so-called Mario. Or what he thinks is Mario. Cap or not, you're still going to be able to do everything that Mario is able to do while retaining the cap. Personally, I think the addition of the 4 new characters, or 3 rather, really gives this game a bigger and better platforming, a new added perspective that people might not have had originally, and it just gives people generally what they want. While you may be able to play through one level as Mario, you can play through a completely different level as maybe Wario, Luigi, or Yoshi even, and get some things that you normally wouldn't. As some of the levels have been worked around to the character's abilities and unique traits, you can really see how the addition of these characters onto the DS version of this 64 port really works out greatly. One of the other concerns that I usually have with a port over like this is that, is there any slowdown? Is there any graphical interface problems? No, there's not. And while you may have seen a couple on here while I've been playing, this is because this is a ROM, and the footage is recorded off of a ROM. And while I'm telling you about the footage here, let me go ahead and give a nice shout out to Homestone again. Once again, he does acquire all the footage for me, as it is a pain in the butt for me to actually record the ROMs and the games on my DS. He gives me the footage, I give my voice, and we have a great review. So don't forget to thank Homestone. Without him, you guys wouldn't be able to see this awesome gameplay. Overall, Super Mario 64 DS is a great game available for the Nintendo DS, and once again, if you missed out on this game early on as a child, or you just happened to not be alive at the time, there's plenty of copies out there available for you to get your hands on. You should definitely give it a try. You might be surprised at how much you love Mario, if you happen to be lacking in your appreciation of him in the latter years because of the Wii release or the GameCube releases. Go ahead and give the 64 version a try. You won't be disappointed, and you may really be surprised at what's available out there for Mario when you're not using gimmicks or anything new for the plotline. This is just good old Mario rescuing the princess and the Mushroom Kingdom with the special magical paintings. It's Mario 64, guys! Give a nice big round for one of the greatest games ever invented, and one of the best games I've ever had the pleasure of playing. I'm Protomario, and I'm signing out. And hey guys, thanks for watching.